This is a huge shot. Do I have to drink it all at once, or can I spread it out?
No. 5 minutes starts now.
Actually looks bigger than it is. All right. The demo that I could not show today, this morning, was TPM remote attestation as second factor for SSH logins. I guess many of you were still sleeping, which is reasonable. So I will quickly show you the configuration of this on the SSH server, which is now the local host, to make the demo succeed, basically. You know that you can specify additional command to be executed for public key authentication. And this one basically is the second factor, so you don't have to install a different OpenSSH server, which would make it much harder to deploy. So you can even deploy this only on your non-privileged account, right? And the additional authentication shell you're adding is the quote verification, which verifies the TPM attestation with a configuration of what to actually expect from the TPM, because you need to specify at the platform state that it should be expecting. So let's quickly see how that looks like. And as I said this morning, all of this is open source on GitHub. Okay, so this is an example of the expectation. This is the platform state, the different hashes of the platform state. There's a composite hash, which is basically a hash over the other hashes that I'm storing pre-computed to make it a little bit simpler. And of course, the public key of the TPM that the TPM will use for signing the quote. All right. Let's try to connect to localhost. You see all the SSH stuff, and then you get the attestation request or challenge. We will copy this here. And then here I have a tool, the tool quote make, which is the tool that you run on the client computer. This is the basic C4 encoded unique ID of my attestation key, so that I can tell the TPM which key to use to sign this. The actual private part of that key is only present in the TPM. There isn't even an API to ask the TPM for the private part. So I can just tell the TPM, please use this key that you know. And then I pass it the challenge, including the nonce. Then the TPM very slowly signs the request. And I get my quote. And as you can see in the quote, here is again the state of the PCRs. The actual quote, which is a combination of the composite hash over these PCRs, and also the nonce. And I sent the PCR full content. The theory isn't required because only the composite hash is used in signing. But to make it easier to spot which PCR is differing now, I send also the raw PCRs. So I take my quote, go back to my SSH server, paste it, and I get a shell. And even better, if you have scripting, it sets an environment variable TPM attested that tells you which composite hash was allowed. So it's, even if you have additional verification, you can check via the environment. So let's verify that I'm not cheating with bullshit here. Let me screw with the nonce. Okay, and instead of that, I will add another random character. So the nonce is different than what server is asking for. Sorry, I need to make sure I have the correct base64 padding. Paste my malicious request or broken request or whatever. Of course, it will still happily sign it because it, takes any nonce. But if I use this one, no, yeah, it tells me, for example, in this case, the nonce in quote does not match. All right, that's the demo. Thank you.
Okay. Well done.
Very secure. German engineering.